Terry,
Talk to me, Dan.
welcome back to Zero Tackle. 5 points in 5 minutes.
One of my favourite times of the week.
Let's put the timer on the clock.
What's the first point you got for me, Dan?
Des Hasler, gone.
Terrible? No, I think something had to change at Manly. I don't think the plan that they've got in place for Seabold, Eddie Jones and Shane Flanagan, I just can't see all of them going there.
Hey, that's a hot pot of just craziness. I'm looking forward to it, but I can't see it working.
I mean, they might as well just hire Stephen Dank and, just have a complete party there.
Let him back in. They were the originals.
I just don't think that the squad is good enough to blame Hasler. Like, they turn around and say it's a top 6 squad.
Penn comes out and says it's a championship winning squad. In what world? Maybe the New South Wales Cup.
PVL ball, yeah, it was decent, but even still then they got flogged by South. They got flogged by Penrith. Like, yeah. Nah, look, I don't know. The squad's not there for it. It's a rebuild now. I don't think Seabold's the coach that you want for a rebuild.
Something had to change. I think
Anthony Riebold.
Very, very good.
Rebuild.
Let's leave it on that.
Luke Brooks going to Newcastle. Good or bad?
Good.
Terrible.
Good for Brooks, good for Newcastle, good for Tigers. I said this time last year it should have happened. Ridiculous they didn't. The West Tigers dug in.
Yeah.
100% dug in because they said years ago when they couldn't get Moses to sign, we wanted Luke Brooks all the time. They couldn't backtrack off that. It's time to eat some crow.
Yeah, look, he apparently went to the Tigers management last year and asked for 2 releases to go to Newcastle. Fair credit to Newcastle who have, I've watched the Tigers stand their ground, so they're standing their ground saying, well, we still want him. It hasn't worked. He's led the Tigers to a wooden spoon. Is he going to make a difference at Newcastle? No. He's really, really bad. And the fact they don't have a number 6 that can work with him up there either. Talks today that Callum Ponga might play 6.
Yeah, I can't see it working for Newcastle, but I also don't care. I think the Tigers need him gone. They need to move forward, and Brooks needs to move.
Yeah, he needs a fresh start. The Tigers need a fresh start. Long may they suck, though.
Now, Terry, talking about eating crow, Samoa were awful. Awful against England after I went on record and said that they would beat them. I said they had the 3rd best squad in the World Cup. Gone. They're gone. I'm writing them off.
It's almost as if a country with its own professional league and Tier 2 depth would just go out and flog a minnow that had been together for 3 weeks. And really, there's not many players in that side that you'd be falling over for Australia and New Zealand to pick out of it.
No, I mean, Toto and Crichton were probably there. Papali'i definitely was.
Paulo?
Look, there's 4 players. It's 4 players that should have played for the Kangaroos or could have played for the Kangaroos. They went in. The Penrith players, though, were the worst players across the park. They look like they've been partying for weeks, which they have, let's be honest. Every Instagram story shows it. I just don't think they turned up.
Look, all I'm going to say is, I know we're running out of time here, is Stephen Crichton can never put on a blue jersey again in his life. Terrible when he wears that colour.
Fair enough. But were England just really, really good? It hurts to say. Were England really good, Terry?
Yeah, England were beyond really good. They were outstanding. Best performing team in the opening round of the World Cup group stages. They're on track now to set all kinds of World Cup records after that. Absolutely.
Well, they're hard games out of the way.
It is, yeah. And, obviously the second place plays Tonga in the quarterfinals, so they've avoided that now. Clear-cut run to the World Cup semi-finals and I think World Cup final as well. On home soil, could be tough to beat, probably not. I do think, though, that the Australian media paid too much attention to what was happening in the NRL and not what's happening in the Super League. The top 4 clubs over in the Super League have got some super talents in there. Jack Wellsby is one. I'd love to see him come into, go to the Melbourne Storm or a club like that where, he'd be able to flourish. There's some talent over there. We saw it. Unlucky Samoa.
Yeah, just ran into a heaps better England side. Speaking of heaps better, though, Terry, Joey Manu. Wow.
What does he do? Does he stay at the Roosters and play centre, get paid like a spine player, probably get paid outside the cap as well from Nick Politis? Or does he go to the Titans, the Tigers, the Dolphins, the Warriors, someone really crap who's going to pay him $1 million?
$1 million to play fullback.
Go into the middle of the park at the Dogs, maybe the Dragons.
This is a guy who could be a top 5 fullback in the game. I have no doubt.
This is a guy who could be a top 5 player in the game.
Yeah. I think smart money is that he stays with the Roosters. Because he's the best centre in the game. I don't think it's even close. But at what point do you think, do I do the Tuivasa-Sheck?
This is what I say. He's getting paid well to play in the centres, every now and then fill in at fullback, every now and then fill in at 5'8". As a centre, he comes off and goes looking for the ball. Keep doing that. Win another couple of premierships. Joey, I'm begging you because you can become the first Kiwi immortal.